concerned, he's convicted. He's a liar.
The lying about a liar's lying for a liar continues.
He said to me at least a dozen times that he made the decision on the payments and he didn't tell you.
Yeah. Tonight.
Oh my God!
You've got mail.
The
president had no involvement.
This president's destabilizing assault on reality.
Every day, most of us knew we were coming in and we were going to lie for him on something. And it's exactly what's happening here in government, sir.
Then,
reclaiming my time.
Congresswoman Maxine Waters on the president's criminal behavior, impeachment, and her interest in the Trump Foundation. And after a week of hearing from Michael Cohen,
I've never been to Prague.
Where we stand on the big Russia questions with BuzzFeed's Ben Smith.
There's just so many dots that all seem to lead to the same direction.
When All In starts right now.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. The president and his allies are fully invested in trying to discredit and destroy Michael Cohen, repeatedly calling Cohen a liar.
As far as Cohen is concerned, he's convicted. He's a liar. He's defrauded at a high level. He's got a lot of problems. And, you know, it was very interesting because he lied so much.
Yes. Yes, the president just says something true. That's true. Michael Cohen is a liar. He is a completely unreliable character. But that's not our fault. We're the people on the outside of Trump's insane tangle of lies attempting to get to the truth. We have to deal with what Trump has given us, and he has surrounded himself with liars. He's a liar, his kids are liars, everyone around him is a liar. The Trump campaign organization is full of on-the-record liars who have been indicted or pleaded guilty for lying. President Trump does not get to defend himself by saying, everyone around me is an unrepentant liar. Yes, that's the problem. And amidst this miasma of lies, we're the ones left trying to figure out the facts. What did he do? What did the president do? What crimes has he possibly committed or not committed? What exactly happened with the Russians or didn't happen? I don't care what the facts are. They could be exculpatory, like the fact that Michael Cohen apparently did not go to Prague, says he was never there, in contravention of the dossier. I just want to know them. But we cannot know them because the president and everyone around him lie constantly. I would like it to be that there is one reliable person in Trump's organization, but there is not. And the thing is now, his organization is our government. Ours. Represents us. They're going hard right now on Michael Cohen. And yes, as I said, he's a liar. Everyone who worked for the president basically is a liar. Paul Manafort is a liar. Rick Gates is a liar. George Papadopoulos is a liar. Michael Flynn is a liar. Jared Kushner is a liar. Don Jr. is a liar. Ivanka is a liar. Every one of them is a liar. John Kelly got up and lied. Kristen Nielsen got up and lied. Mike Pompeo lied. Sean Spicer lied publicly nearly every time he opened his mouth. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has done exactly the same thing. They all lied. They all lie. They lie about big things, and they lie about small things. They lie about consequential things, and they lie about trivial nonsense. And then, when they get caught lying, they don't even admit it. The best example is that Trump lied for years about the Trump Tower Moscow deal, whether he was working on it during the campaign. His personal lawyer pleaded guilty to lying to Congress about it, and then the president, who had lied about it over and over and over and over and over again, comes out and he's like, yeah, yep, we wanted to build a tower and pursued it throughout the campaign. So what? Today, they did the same thing, the same exact thing about Jared Kushner's security clearance. Kellyanne Conway said today, the president has the absolute right to grant clearance. That's true, completely true. So why did the president and his senior advisor lie about it at least 9 times? This House Oversight Chairman Elijah Cummings said at the end of Michael Cohen's hearing earlier this week, the deception is overwhelming.
You know, I mean, come on now. I mean, when you got, according to the Washington Post, our president has made at least 8,718 false or misleading statements. That's stunning. That's not what we teach our children. I don't teach mine that. When we're dancing with the angels, the question will be asked, in 2019, what do we do to make sure we kept our democracy intact? Did we stand on the sidelines and say nothing?
Joining me now, a member of the House Oversight Committee, Congressman Ro Khanna of California, who was questioning Michael Cohen earlier this week. Congressman, I'm going to talk about the specifics, but first I guess the question is, are we closer to the truth? Do you feel, after the hearing and with the agenda before your committee now, that we are getting closer to the truth?
I think we are. We know that there was a criminal conspiracy between the president, his son, Weisselberg, and Cohen for financial fraud, and that the Southern District of New York is investigating this ongoing conspiracy. So that is closer to the truth. We need more people to come before the committee and testify to continue to corroborate it.
I want to play you something that Rudy Giuliani said about the reimbursement payments. Of course, this is something they have lied about over and over. The president lied to everyone on Air Force One when he was asked about it, lied about it subsequently. And this is Giuliani today, what he had to say. Take a listen.
We brought out 10 months ago that he made the payments. It's our view of it that the president didn't know about it at the time. And then the president, when he found out about it, made arrangements for reimbursement.
There is literally tape of him talking to Michael Cohen about it at the time. What is your response when they try to sort of gaslight us all this way?
Well, obviously they're lying, but it's more serious than they're lying. The president didn't just pay Michael Cohen through his personal check. He set up an elaborate trust through his financial organization, the Trump Organization, and they cooked the books in the Trump Organization to reimburse Cohen. And Cohen brought in the checks. Here's the thing. Every time they attack Cohen's credibility, you don't have to believe a word Cohen says. He has smoking gun evidence. Just look at the evidence. Cohen corroborated everything he alleged with evidence, and the evidence was that the president, his son, and Weisselberg elaborated a whole scheme to commit financial fraud.
Your committee has announced, the chair, Elijah Cummings, already was looking into the security clearance issue, which has been an issue above and beyond just Jared Kushner. The chair wrote another letter today in the wake of the Kushner revelations in the New York Times. Explain why this is an important issue for oversight and isn't just something that the president can grant or not grant as he pleases.
Well, here's why it matters. The president has had a systematic assault on expertise and civil servants in our democracy. Look, I know Jared Kushner. We worked at the White House Office of Innovation to pass a bill on the IDEA Act. And this isn't a partisan issue. But who puts Jared Kushner in charge of Middle East peace? And when you give him a top secret clearance and you know that he's on WhatsApp with MBS in Saudi Arabia and that this may be affecting things like the war in Yemen, there are real concerns. So this isn't some partisan issue. This is saying that the president has disregarded foreign policy advice. He's put his son-in-law in charge of the Middle East peace process, and the son-in-law is getting sensitive information that he may be sharing with MBS and who knows else around the world.
There's reporting today from NBC that the House Democrats are preparing a case to request the president's tax returns. That would be the Ways and Means Committee. That's the one that has jurisdiction, but it's been coordinated with chairs of other committees. Is that something you would support?
Absolutely. And let's remember why we have this authority. It goes back to the 1920s, the Teapot Dome scandal, when there was corruption and bribery. And then Congress said, well, we can't just rely on the president to tell us that if there's corruption, we got to get the tax returns. And so there's precedent for this, and we should absolutely get the tax returns.
All right. Congressman Ro Khanna on the Oversight Committee. Thank you so much. Joining me now, former RNC Chair Michael Steele and Michelle Goldberg, op-ed columnist in the New York Times. Both are MSNBC political analysts. You know, it's just, I find myself just exhausted. Today's one of the, this is one of those weeks where it's exhausting, that Giuliani clip. Because unless you are paying, here's why it's exhausting. It is effective in its own way.
Oh, it is.
Unless you are paying extremely careful attention, it's my job to do that. I even was like, oh, right, did he know about the time? And then someone had to be like, buddy, there's a tape. Like, played. I was like, oh, right, no, we already know that. But the barrage of the lies is so constant, it creates a kind of noise. It sort of can hollow out people's memories.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
And you put your finger on the play from the very beginning of this. And it is, I think, you know, sort of the calling card of the Trump environment, that you throw everything at once into the mix, and let people figure it out.
Right,
Meanwhile,
that's right.
I'm going to skip to the loo over this way.
Totally.
And when you catch up to me, I've got another pile of ish to throw out there
Right.
for you to look at, too.
And when you catch up to me, this is the key part. When you catch up to me, I'm never caught. That was,
Never
to me,
caught.
the Kellyanne Conway is
That's
like,
it.
oh, the president has the authority.
That's right.
Right, so then why'd you lie about it? That's
exactly.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to build Moscow
Exactly.
Tower. Right, but then why did you lie about it?
Because you spent all the time
Chasing,
going after the president's lie, and then they come back and go, well, he had that authority all along. I don't know why were you so upset, Chris?
And, you know, it's not just Trump, right? I mean, this is a hallmark of a lot of modern authoritarian states. I think none more so than Russia, right? There's this book called Nothing is True, Everything is Possible. That's this book about modern Russia that will actually give you a tremendous amount of insight into the sort of epistemological terrorism that the Trump administration practices on us every single day to keep us in this state of kind of derangement and feeling slightly off-centered and not being able to get your bearings in this miasma.
You know, here's a statement. I thought this was amazing.